Okay. I think we're live, and I need just a moment to confirm on both platforms if we are actually live or not. Let's see.
Nice.
If anyone is listening to us, please let us know in the comments.
I like the fact that we have the old logo. Reminds me of the time
Old the React Native Show logo on the
of the
right.
podcast. Yes.
I can actually remove
No,
this.
leave it.
Don't
No, I
don't
mean,
touch it.
it's fine.
Okay. We have 6 people watching us right now, and I'm still struggling to find. Okay, Callstack.
Are you
Yes,
counting? Are
Callstack
you
is live.
counting 4 of us as well?
I'm not sure. I'm watching as well on my second monitor here. We are live actually. So hello everyone.
Hello.
Thanks for joining me, Mike. Thanks for suggesting that we catch up again. Let's make it official. Let's meet up more regularly. Maybe let's meet up every second or third week or something like that. I know that we have a bunch of things to discuss. We are not sure what we'll be discussing yet. Maybe let's start with a round of introductions. We have Pasiński brothers here. Robert and Mario Pasińscy. They are from our open source initiative at Callstack. So guys, how about you introduce yourselves?
Go on, Mario.
Okay.
You're the older one.
So it's me, Mario, and I'm in Callstack for 2 years. Maybe some of you might remember me from some coffee talks. I was mostly passionate about 3D graphics. And now I'm working on this magical project where we can change the future, shape it. And yeah, basically this is what I'm doing. I don't want to spoil too much right now. And Robert.
Yeah, so hello everyone. My name is Robert. I am working in Callstack for I think over 3 years right now. And I'm currently working with this beautiful team of beautiful and awesome people on improving the current React Native ecosystem, however you see it. So yeah, I'm really excited to be here, and there are some cool topics to talk about today.
Cool.
You
Mike,
know,
who
guys,
are you?
I mean, before I introduce myself, I always find it. I mean, first of all, I didn't ask you guys before we went live. Can you hear me well? Because I'm directly plugged to the microphone, so I hear myself very loud. But am I okay on your side?
Yep.
Okay. So you know what I find really interesting is that I always think about family relationships and how I get along with my family. And each time you guys get on the call, I'm like, this is the family goals right there. Two brothers, C++ freaks. I wonder if when you get together for New Year's Eve or Christmas, you end up talking about 3D graphics or what's the deal there. But it's pretty interesting. You have such a similar passion for programming. So I'm curious, like, who was the first to get started, and if you guys really had any sort of influence on each other, or was just random that you started.
Yeah, I would say we did. Like we had some impact on it because Mario started first. Then I got a bit interested in this as well. So Mario actually started, but I will let him talk about it himself. But we started with Turbo Pascal, moved along to like C++, JavaScript, then some kind of JavaScript started right there, and our paths diverged somewhere in between. Like Mario went full on 3D graphics, and I was just like poking around different areas like native development, compiler development, and stuff like that. So yeah, but we had the impact that we were talking about, like, I did this or I learned this, and of that feedback, okay, maybe try this. So this was this ever-going loop of have you tried this or have you seen this? And it all like say sparked our interest even more. So it was like adding the wood to the fire every time. So yeah, that's my perspective of it, and I'm not sure what Mario is.
Like, I would say you haven't given the whole context. How we started learning. Like, I remember we didn't have
Right.
internet, so we had this offline computer, and like, what can you do? You were playing
Yeah.
games, and I was buying this Computer Świat like magazine, and there were like first HTML tutorial. The second book was about CSS and then JavaScript, and it's like, oh my god, I love it. And I wanted to build native apps with it. And I was like, how those guys are making exe files and I'm using like this web browser or whatever. Till I learned in 2007 Turbo Pascal. This was like eye-opening. I really still love the language. It's dead, unfortunately. And basically what happened is like we didn't have internet. We were poking around, reading the official manual. When you wanted to move the mouse, like in the DOS era, you had to do some assembly. So this is how we were forced kind of to do this. I always wanted to make games. Games are the reason why I'm still coding. And this is how it was progressing. I was like, my dream was to work for like a company in the US. I always wanted to move there. I was like so passionate about it. And Robert went really crazy. He was going into all different branches of IT. He has Dragon Book, the compiler design book in his bookshelf. He designed like parsers, compilers. He did graphics a bit. Like he is also like really, really crazy. He tried basically everything. And yeah, this is how we started. Like
Nice.
And
curiosity.
this is how you end up on the core React team, as Robert does right now.
Yeah, I would say it's overrated. As I mean, like Mario exaggerated a bit. It wasn't that crazy. Um, I didn't write my 3D engine as he did, so there's that. But I would say, yeah, I think it's kept our interest going. So even though we were working on different IT areas, it eventually we always had a topic we could talk about that is similar in both areas. So we ever had had some plans about merging our interest, like creating some completely new stuff that could help, for example, that specific IT area and 3D graphics. So yeah, we had a very big imagination, but we didn't have enough time. Hopefully, I mean that ended up good because we would be stuck in like writing all this stuff till now or even more.
I have to say one more thing because it's so funny. Robert likes to push languages till the like edge, basically. He was the only person I know who wrote a make file system in Bash called Bake, and he wrote a HTTP server in Bash. It was so fast that instead of using a request per second, you had to use seconds per request, but it worked.
Yeah.
Like nobody knew
Yeah.
it's possible.
Yeah, you should pull it up next time, because I guess it's so hard to even like get an understanding of like what that really even is. As long as you have it somewhere, because I guess it's been like many years.
Yeah, I would need to go through my backups, but it's not bells and whistles. I need to highlight that in my early days, I was paying the ass for Marius because we had a shared computer, and once he went us at school, I got this great idea to save space on the PC, and this was like this Windows XP era where you like highlighted the shortcut and it's shown like size 1 kilobyte because it was a shortcut. So my then great mind came to the idea that let's remove all the games and applications because they waste so much space, and leave only the shortcuts because they weigh only 1 kilobyte. And I removed every like app and game back then because shortcuts weighed only 1 kilobyte. So the beginnings were tough, I would
Micro-optimizations right
say.
there.
Yeah,
But
exactly. And
I feel like this is how you learn. You screw up
yeah,
and then you try to fix it. I know that like I used to unscrew my HDD from the computer and go into my friend's house to just download some, I don't know, get some movies from here or some, I don't know, files. And I screwed up my hard drive. It stopped working. I started crying because I was really young. And then I borrowed some old HDD from my friends. I installed like Windows on it, and I pirated this like very fancy program to recover the files from my old drive, and it worked, and I was really surprised that I could do that just downloading the software and just using it.
I do have
borrowing.
I do have a story like this as well from my childhood, because I also used to share a PC with my brother. I guess we all did, especially if you're from Poland. So parents used to work in the law enforcement, so they were obviously by definition against me playing any sort of games where you guys know the term for this, like the rated for adults, right? So PG whatever. And so the game I always wanted to play was Grand Theft Auto. And when I was sick, or supposedly sick, and I was being left home alone, I had like 8 hours to install everything, play the game, and then clean things up. Because my father used to be into computers as well, so he would figure it out anyway. So I would have to figure how to clean up the registry in Windows and stuff like that. And so then I sort of discovered that there was this CD runnable version of GTA 3. And that was such a great time saver. Obviously, it was downloaded from unofficial resources, but it was pretty cool. And so after that point, I stopped playing around with the registry, because it was just put it inside and play, which was pretty awesome.
Also, something that you guys said about Turbo Pascal. I used Turbo Pascal in high school. I started programming in Turbo Pascal as well. And I remember like going through my old email. I started using emails around high school, like proper one. And
was probably part of the class assignment to create it, right?
Maybe, but like, even earlier than that, I had like emails with like very weird names or something like that. And then I started using lukasz.chludziński@gmail or something. And I still have that code. I still have that Turbo Pascal code when our teacher just gave us the code for like 3D cube rotation or something like that. No one knew how it worked. It was like a lot of like
magic
and cos and all of that trigonometry there. And yeah, it's funny to see that that file right now. Go through your old emails. Maybe you will find some.
I periodically go through them, but the last. Okay. So here is the favorite one. So I lately gave access to my email to my wife because she was looking for something, and she was like, "Just give me the access. I'll find it myself." And she tells me the other day that she was laughing to tears because she came across a very old email that I was exchanging with the university. And with that university, I was emailing them for 1 year and a half, trying to collect my diploma. And they were mailing me every 3 months, asking me to bring the pictures of me for the diploma. And every time I would say, yes, I will come tomorrow. And then I would go, dead for next 3 months. And I always had this excuse that I just came back from the delegation, which, if you remember early days of Callstack, it was actually the case. But it was so funny because I dragged it over for 2 years. And eventually, after 2 years, I responded with the email that I said, what I say, to be very honest with you, I don't really need this diploma because nobody needs it in the IT right now. So I'm fine waiting for another couple of years to collect it. And that's how the story goes, pretty much. So you can find a lot of fun stuff there, for sure.
That's a great time travel machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to some topics of like open source and mobile development. We have a
I should probably introduce myself because it is on me that people wasted some time listening to nonsense. So back to the introductions. I'm Mike, CTO and co-founder of Callstack, React Native contributor, engineer. I wear glasses as of yesterday as well. So we're in the cool gang of glasses. And everything I see right now is a fisheye. So that's about me. Łukasz, I think people know you because you're the face of
Callstack.
streaming.
What I usually do is I talk to the camera, and like I think my talent, I love programming, of course, but I don't know as nearly as much as any of you. But I do like to read programming news, and I like to talk about them, and I like to interview people that have something to say about software. So, like, going to the topic, to the question in the chat, Mateusz asked, what do you think will be the trends in mobile applications in 2025? And actually, we just dropped an episode of the React Universe on Air podcast when I interviewed Evan Bacon from Expo.
Self-promo.
And we were talking about Expo server components. So I think server components will be the big thing in mobile applications and web applications as well. I'm not sure if there are any concepts like that in native development, but for React Native and for React, server components will definitely be one of the main trends.
Yeah, I would also add that in like development area of mobile applications, especially in React Native, I think static Hermes will be a bit of a game changer in the upcoming months or
Yeah,
years.
Robert,
in-
maybe you can tell us a bit more about it. I think there is an update about it on latest newsletter. And what I love about Static Hermes team and Svetan, these guys, like, the way they're great C engineers is they really don't do any standard marketing. Like, the best way, like, Svetan just goes on Twitter, writes this big ass tweet, and he's like, here's everything that we've been working on, and that message still goes through the right people, which I love about the way they're just communicating with the community. So since you guys are like super into this stuff, maybe you can break it down a bit for us.
Myself cannot tell too much because I'm a bit behind it. I am not up to date with the status and changes, but I got it on my backlog. I want to get into it and see how it works, not only like from the announcements, but maybe hack around it myself. So right now, personally, I don't know too much about it as of the current state. So maybe Mario knows more something about it.
I haven't looked into it that closely. I've known that they're trying to play with system calls. I think you can open the standard input-output already streams, which is already cool that they're managed to do this. The question,
they are doing
I'm
FFI, if I remember correctly. They are supporting
Yes.
the pairing function interface. Yeah.
Yes, this is actually a great idea because most of the functions that you want to use are available through an FFI. Most of them are using the C ABI, so it's just a matter of linking them together. But yes, I think it's gonna be one of the more major steps towards more performant applications on React Native.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool that that I mean, I remember when they announced Static Hermes like many years ago. I was super surprised, at the same time impressed, that you can achieve such a performance if you take types into consideration. There is obviously some constraints because of that, but the fact that they can achieve performance that is as fast as C, or even, if I'm not wrong, in certain benchmarks even faster because of the way they optimize it, is pretty crazy. Now, I don't know if I mean, this is huge, but at the same time, I feel like we have crossed this threshold of you can just build great React Native apps these days. It's not like, I don't think this is going to change dramatically everybody's life, because it's already good enough. And this is the discussion that we had with Nitro modules lately, which I believe was one of the sort of major contra arguments against the benchmarking of Nitro modules, that okay, it is 70-80 times faster than competing module system, but does that really matter?
But fun thing about Static Hermes and also React Compiler, which is in the same performance bucket, is that you basically get it for free. You don't have to think about it. you don't have to know about static Hermes. At some point, it will just be turned on by default, and that's all. You don't need to know about those like FFI that Mario just talked about. You don't know. You don't need to know what it is. You just use it because it's gonna be your like default. It's already is your default JavaScript engine for React Native.
I would
So it's just
I would
gonna
add a
have
big
the
asterisk here, a very big
okay.
asterisk here. Because I talked with Svetan on last conference, and while the new static Hermes may improve some performance, but the compiled version has some pretty specific requirements on it, and I'm not sure what those are. I don't remember, but probably it will not be that opt-in. You'll be able to use the new Hermes, but for you to use static Hermes, if I remember correctly, you need to meet some certain criteria for it to be compiled. So I'm not sure if it will be that opt-in. Let's not, make that, that will be happen out of the box. I'm pretty skeptic about it. I'm not sure maybe they solved it somehow. I'm not sure, but from what I've talked with Svetan, it requires some work to make it, compilable.
I would maybe add one more thing. I also was talking with Svetan, I guess, on the same conference. I remember he was,
I happen to know which conference that was.
of course. What I wanted to say is that I remember him saying that the biggest issue currently that we have performance-wise are bundlers. Because during bundling, we take all the types from TypeScript, we strip them away, and the JavaScript engines, when they have to run, they have to guess the types again. So if we would find a way, I don't know if this problem is being addressed right now or not, but if we will manage to prepare the bundlers so they keep the type informations and the JavaScript engines, Hermes, can use it, we will see huge performance, at least we should see huge performance benefits.
Another asterisk here. If I remember correctly, I need to highlight that, is that even like the type information from Flow and TypeScript is not good enough for
it is not
compilation.
good enough. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That is, we are referring to the same information, so I can confirm that. But guys, I think there is one more thing that we are actually going to work on, and there is also one person in the community that promised me he was going to watch our live stream, but it's okay if he's not doing this anyway. We can give him a shout out, which is Cran. And he works at MongoDB on a Realm database and other cool stuff. And we're actually teaming up. I mean, we were supposed to team up last year, but I got super busy with some secret projects over Christmas on bringing those native modules behind an API to React Native, which is going to be pretty cool. Oh, he's here. There you go. So he did actually, yes, that's the guy. You should follow him for sure, 100%. So he did actually lately posted a POC where he gets this up and running. And there is a few interesting projects that we happen to have an overlap with him that we are going to work on together. But this one is super exciting because if we can get this into production, we can obviously run any to React Native, which is great. But what I really love is potentially sharing the code across different frameworks and with different engines. And you guys are from the background where you know the importance of that feature, I guess.
But like, so question to all of you. For the stuff that is not opt-in, but that is given you by default, that is plug and play basically, this is not raising the bar for React Native developers. You just go ahead and start using compiler or some like Hermes, static Hermes parts of it. For the things that you are describing like right now, it seems that the level of entry is raised quite significantly if you want to understand those tools and start using those tools. Like the React Native WebAssembly that we talked about last live stream. So do you think those kind of things will be like a niche specific tool sets for dedicated use cases, or at some point we all will be using like Nitro modules and WebAssembly and all of that? What is your take on it?
Maybe I can take on that because I'm
Please go
pretty
ahead.
fresh on this topic. So when we are working on it, our goal is to make it more compatible with web, and where it will lead us and where it will lead the community is unpredictable. So we don't have any expectations that everyone will be using it. Our goal is to make it work and make it easy to work with. You mentioned the issue of level entry toughness, and so how hard it will be to start using it. So the idea and the thing with the WebAssembly is that if you are looking for it, then you probably know a bit about it. So we try to make it as transparent as possible by just exposing the web APIs on React Native. There are some quirks regarding bundlers, React Native and stuff, but ideally those would be handled by the library itself. Maybe some small footnotes here and there, how to work with it, and maybe some section in documentation. But if it catches, and for example, the WebAssembly evolves so much that all languages will be able to be compiled to WebAssembly without much effort, and it catches on, then I would say React Native would be like prepared for it, and there is some like entry point and the library that we can use to catch on. But right now, WebAssembly is kind of niche, so it has its uses, and it's mostly used on web if you need native performance or you have like native code you want to use on the web. So why not use that and make another alternative for turbo modules, because you can use them alongside turbo modules and have the same code on web and native. There are some limitations, of course, like WebAssembly is like quite young and it's not as mature as like C++ APIs, but the whole
Hard to
promise
compete
of
with that one.
yeah, it's like over 40 years. Like it's stable for I think 10 or 20 years, but the idea that you really get to run the same code on every platform is quite cool, and we are trying to make that happen. Obviously, I just want to add that we could look into the shape of WebAssembly in a few years, because right now it's pretty simple. It's like lacking some features here and there, but we are working on it right now, and when it eventually becomes stable, the WebAssembly may be like 4.0 or 5.0, and maybe everything we need will be supported, and you will be able to use it out of the box without any,
But are you saying that
complications.
WebAssembly for web, for browsers, is not stable?
It is. I mean, it evolves. There are different versions. What I meant is that WebAssembly has its own limitations that were worked out for C++, for example. But you cannot use C++ on web. So there's this trade-off. But from what I've seen, WebAssembly grows very fast, reasonably fast. So there's this hope that in quite a few years, maybe we'll be able to completely replace turbo modules with WebAssembly. Who knows?
Something is telling me we're gonna replace, or somebody will provide a new way of building native modules.
Yeah. There are some surprisingly annoying things in WebAssembly when you start playing around with it, which I didn't really expect, but it was just my bad understanding of the native space. Like the WASI spec is exactly what I was expecting to be there from the very beginning, which is for the WebAssembly code to be able to call some interfaces provided by the native side, like file system. You would expect, okay, if I can run C++, then I can have access to all these different things as well, but it's not really the case. But Łukasz, to answer your question from my perspective, I think because React Native is maturing, I think, you know, the one thing is that it's maturing, but the other thing is that we are specifically at Callstack working with enterprise customers. That's why we are just talking about some crazy stuff. And I think this is the reason behind it, because bigger players start adopting React Native, and more advanced, interesting one-off use cases are happening there. Like, okay, there is somebody building a new device and using React Native as a native language. How crazy is that? It's not probably many people that will do it every day, but it's still a bunch of different interesting use cases that we can talk about because of that work. So I guess that it is like this. So I don't think that I mean, there will be a lot of exciting things for developers. Like, Explorator is shipping a lot of stuff. And
Yeah.
I think these are the things that people are mostly going to be excited about. But there is this group of crazy engineers building with React Native, and I think it's around 700 of them or something, because that's how many stars Nitro modules have on GitHub, which blows my mind. Like, should be more than that, but it's not. My AI project has more stars just because of the hype. So that gives you, the engagement and what people are looking for. Nitro modules are awesome, but still.
But like this is exactly what I was referring to. Like there is this like huge user base of React Native, and most of developers will just use standard React Native because it got mature. When we started, when I started a few years ago, and I would get the error from, I don't know, Objective-C or Java or whatever from build system, I would go to the web. Sometimes no one else, sorry, sometimes there will not be answer for that error that I have, that I can apply. Right now, this doesn't happen anymore in your regular workflow with React Native. And like most of the developers will just have a smooth sailing with Expo, for example. With the libraries that you describe, it seems that we go to that same niche all over again. We start inventing new things. There will be some friction. Like, I expect there to be some friction of adoption. And I like what Kren said, that like this like low level parts can become a building blocks for some developers to start building new APIs and new like simpler tools on top of it.
Yeah, by the way, if you guys, like, if any of you has a screen sharing in place ready, I just sent you a link to Kran's tweet, and he has a very nice video of this Rust stuff running, which I guess might be interesting to our viewers to see. And while we figure this out, or maybe you, Łukasz, start cleaning up the icons from your desktop, there is the very first question that was posted by Ryu on the YouTube channel.
Sorry, you sent a bunch of
the last one, the blue sky,
links.
the blue sky, the blue sky. So Ryu, he asked if we're going to do a meetup in Wrocław, and this is actually what I've been thinking about and wanted to ask you guys, because I think it's been a while, and the last meetup that I was part of was like before COVID. So please tell me, do people still go to meetups in Poland? And if we were to host a very casual meetup, like, say, whatever, like casual like this, no preparations, we're going to have pizza and just talk React Native in whatever 3 weeks.
I will come.
Do you think somebody will come?
So we had a meetup in Callstack offices this June, so like 6 months ago or something.
Okay.
We had a bunch of people there, like 60 people or more than that.
Interesting.
Yeah. And yeah, I hope we can do it again. I live in Warsaw, and like we have meetups very regularly here for JavaScript. I think both Pashinsky brothers were on that meetup already. Robert was speaking a few months ago.
I wasn't.
That's Warsaw.
You were not? No,
not yet.
What I love about meetups in Warsaw specifically is that I go there and I meet new people that just moved in here, for example, working for Google or for other big companies here. and they go to meetups just to meet new people, just to like get embedded in the community of developers here. So I suspect it's the same in all of like university cities like Wrocław or Krakow, or like cities with a big presence of big companies like Google.
Or like Callstack. But that doesn't. Okay, so you gonna come, and you guys
Yes.
gonna come. I don't know if we have a lot of people on this impromptu live stream, but I wonder if 60 is okay. I guess. I mean, to be honest with you, I would even host the meetup for 25, because I was looking, and actually, I think maybe I can show you. It's so sick. I mean, there's so many weird pictures there on the Google Drive, but the meetups, and it's been pretty fun. I don't even think we got more than 25 people. So yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. So what? Back to the trends.
Trends for mobile development. I ask you guys if you maybe know anything about native space that resembles server components in like native Android or native iOS. Okay, that's a nice
I don't think so.
I'm-
Maybe Kotlin multi-platform will be able to pull it off. I
But
think
isn't
what's
it-
really missing in React Native is the hot reload ability. So if I can have a module that's being compiled or built on the server, I can send it to the client and then hot reload or something. Maybe this will be doable.
I think it's just slightly different paradigm. I mean, I think first of all, they just use web views if they need it, like Facebook used to. I mean, they probably they probably use everything, but at least that's how it started before they even came up with React Native. I mean, I've been listening to this 3 hours long episode on Meta. That's what they say, but it's 3 hours long, so I may be confusing different chapters. But
me
you know
too.
this project, yeah.
You recommended this podcast to me, and I listened to it. It's great.
It's crazy,
It's,
right?
yeah.
The Acquired podcast is so awesome. And just a shout out. Hopefully, once we grow to 10,000 developers worldwide, they're gonna make one about us. But until that happens, back to this. This project that I've been doing earlier this year with Eric called Rise. We had this idea of sending JSON payload over the network and rendering dynamic UI based on the JSON. I think that's how many of these companies like Netflix do it. So I don't think there's any alternative per se, and I think this is going to be pretty cool, especially for AI stuff. You know how. Oh fuck! It's 6 hours long. Oh my god!
Yeah.
So I'm halfway through it.
So like this server components thing, you said it's important for AI stuff, but I was part of the TV project for a long time, and in TV specifically, you have this concept of dynamic content because you log in the user and like you want to show them their favorite things, like their layout. The carousels might be different. Carousels is this like horizontal scrollable elements. So we used to do it like you said, like we get the JSON and then we build our UI based on that JSON. This will be impacted significantly by server components because now you can just build the whole UI on the server. You don't have to care about like parsing the JSON and just looping over it. So I think like in this particular realm, the server components will be very, very useful.
Yeah. Would it be cool if you can serialize the whole React element tree and just send it through network?
That's server components, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Guys,
all the conditions and stuff, so it just works.
On this topic, I just opened Twitter and there is a final call for filling out the state of React Native. Did you guys fill it out? I did not, and here is the thing.
Do you want to fill it out live?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's do
This
it.
is the perfect, when I used to do those Twitch streams for like 4 hours, 5 hours, this is exactly how we roll with the stuff. And it's been crazy,
Yeah, I'm gonna.
there is another lovely stuff you can do on a live stream, which is playing with the viewers on guessing the locations. You guys know this game. You open up this website. Maybe we should also zero relation to IT, but you will see a random picture from Google Maps, Street View, and we have to guess the place, which is also super stupid stuff, but it's fun.
You mean like GeoGuessr or something
Exactly,
else?
exactly. Those
Yeah.
those types of things, like these are the things you do with the viewers. It's lovely.
So I already said where I am. So let's guess Mario's location.
Okay, so what are we looking at?
Continue as a guest, I guess.
Of course,
I don't want to give my email here.
this is the tricky one. The background of all of us is like,
It's
Just check
okay.
everything.
It's
Just check
gonna be
everything.
it's gonna be the most impressive for Mario, probably. Mario was a desktop developer, embedded developer as well.
There's no game developer here.
No,
yeah.
I was gonna say game dev.
So we are feeling out as Mario. Let's make sure. Let's make sure this is more or less correct. We don't want to spoil, like, influence the
Sure.
answers in a bad way. So maybe let's just do React, iOS, and Android, because this is the thing we all
Mike, you
have in
were an
common.
iOS developer as well,
Yes, I
right?
was. Yes, that's
Yes.
my background. So I guess, yeah, maybe let's just do React, iOS, and Android. So let's just pick the common
Okay.
denominator of like all of us, and
Sure.
the React. You forgot
How
the
do you
React.
use React Native?
You forgot the React.
You wanted the React as well. Were
Of
you a
course,
React developer before React Native?
of course. I mean, before we started.
I wasn't. No,
This
I
is
started with
before.
React Native, and then I got to learn
Okay,
React.
sorry.
but,
So uncheck it. That's my bad. Uncheck
Yeah.
it. Yes, that's my bad. We all started as native developers.
Haven't been
Really?
nobody used PHP or something like that before?
I wanted to
I
ask, are you
did.
really guys using React since React Native? You didn't use React before?
No.
No,
Like
I didn't.
yeah, like this is the background. So
Okay.
what
I
were
was
you
using
before?
Angular. I was using
Oh.
Angular.
So
And then-
front end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
the like plain HTML counts as well. in
Yeah.
front end.
Okay.
Backbone JS and jQuery, somebody?
Jesus Christ. Good old days. Okay.
Yeah.
So we use React Native professionally, right?
Yes.
And
What desktop? We use
Mac.
macOS.
Easy one.
What is the user count of your top React Native app? I was always confused by this question because like we work for clients and like do I like give the client's number or like my hobby project app or what? Like for
You've
the
worked
client's
on
app is 1 million or more.
you've worked on the most in the last year. So Łukasz, we let you lead the way, I guess, because I'm
So
I'm
like
not
this
working
is
on
1
client
million or
projects.
more.
Okay.
What is your mobile app team size?
Yours is big, right? How big is the
So
team?
it's also very tricky to say. Is it like the whole team that works on that application or like the small team that I work on right now? And like I do mobile infrastructure right now. So like the team is not that big.
Your
I guess-
team, I mean, it's more than 10 anyway, so just go with
yeah,
that one.
probably it's more than 10.
I think we can let you lead the questions, because at least that way we can get coherent answers to
Okay,
about some
so
specific
when it comes
project.
to the projects that I worked on in the past year, like this one is iOS, Android, web.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Android TV, tvOS.
Mhm.
I wish we did Vision OS,
But it's
like,
funny. It's so cool. It's Vision OS is here. Like, shout out to Oscar and everybody,
Yeah.
right? This is so cool.
Yeah, great job, guys. So yeah, that's it. main daily platforms, primarily used for previewing and
And
developing.
does this mean this is new question, the 2024 batch?
I think so. Added in
Oh, nice,
2024.
nice. A very thoughtful stuff.
So in the TV project that I recently stopped working on, I don't have my device here because I was using Fire TV stick to program on. I
So you
guess
can
So how
I
count
you-
it as a Droid physical device? Would it be the second choice?
Well, yes and no.
Kind of.
But like I would really want to just say
So it's interesting. Yeah, it's a very interesting challenge, actually. Like how do you make this work? Because when I was at a hackathon, this is the favorite story I have with Dratva. We went to BMW to Munich, and they hosted hackathon. Unfortunately, they decided to go with Flutter, and you know this because their current BMW app is written in Flutter. And what's funny is Mark, he, like me, is a fan of BMW, and I'm asking him, why is that? Anyway, it is in Flutter, but they wanted to do like I was pitching React Native on a hackathon, and it was funny because they had actual car inside their lab to run stuff on inside the infotainment. So with React Native, I would assume that if we can abstract away the platform, why do you need physical TV device? Why don't you just have some mock web environment to run it? Because the physical TV device seems like a mess, right?
It is, but you want to develop your app on the like most used device or the lowest common denominator for your user base, and for us that was Fire TV. Like it's not that fast, but you want to like know the user experience basically.
You want to optimize on the lowest device as well.
Yeah.
Because you have to make it run on this at least.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Actually, this is not physical. Like I would use just the simulator mostly, and then like at the end of the day, I would like probably plug in. Okay.
Did you have temptation of watching some other stuff on the TV device?
I did when there was like FIFA World Cup. I would watch the platform from our client's product through VPN, and I would watch the FIFA World Cup one.
I remember from the very early days when we started working with this client, I think it was Dratva who was on the team, and he was watching some crazy advertisement of like for some old people of some medicine, and I'm like, what is that? And he's like, it's 4 a.m. in the US. They're just airing this stupid stuff right now. But the side story is this adult website for adults, the one with the yellow rectangle. So I've heard this story that they do have a staging version where all the videos are grayed out, so you don't see actual videos, just the placeholders, which is an interesting insight, but you don't have this problem. I see you're just casually rolling with the TV.
Let's go to the next one. Have you contributed to React Native? I haven't.
That's a very bad answer.
You guys did, but like
we can influence this answer. So
yeah, sorry.
So this is gonna be mine state of React Native.
It's on you. So you just go with the no.
Right now.
I would say yes, but I'm gonna put it yes.
I'm gonna say I'm sorry.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. I need to drop off. Thank you for this awesome talk, and
thank you, Robert.
See you next time. Bye.
See you tomorrow. And thanks for your React contributions. Yeah.
Have you contributed to any React Native community library?
No. What about this one, Łukasz? Any contributions to internal Callstack projects?
Probably not. I'm not sure. Maybe I did something small, but I don't remember.
Okay, then just go with the no.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Uh,
How many React apps do you release publicly? As your own, I
using
guess
public
none.
available apps for my own. No, I just like I released a website uh, recently for my wife.
Oh, really?
Um,
What tech stack did you use?
I
What did you
used
use?
Cursor IDE. I spent like 5 hours on it, and it's like it's very simple, but it works. And like I spent 5 hours on it.
Is it
Uh,
like a plain website, or do you
it
you
just
use Next.js or Astro or something like
I
that?
use Next.js. Like 2 days ago, I connected to Instagram API to let's just download the posts, and it took me like 40 minutes to connect to API and to display the post with Cursor IDE. That's crazy.
Nice.
Uh,
So you can
the
put one.
no,
But
like
that's
Right.
React Native apps. Sorry to
I
say.
think like the clients project that I work on, like that's two
Okay.
apps, two different projects.
And what
mobile OS
platforms do you target?
mobile OS versions?
Yeah, that's
Well,
interesting. I wonder if there are people that target different stuff than React Native by default. Like how often do you change the target from whatever is the React Native?
for this one, I'd have to check. Like that's not our responsibility. Like that's not my team's responsibility to really care about this kind of things. I'd say not as old as possible.
So reasonably current, I guess,
Probably,
is
yeah.
the latest. Whatever is the latest. What industry sector are you using
Sorry,
React Native?
but what does it mean? What do you target? Like, what's your lowest version that you support, or like, are you targeting? Like, are you available
Yeah,
on the newest?
yeah.
iOS?
I think it's the settings you have in the Xcode and Android Studio.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's funny? I've been and Mario, you may know this as well. When we've been doing some stuff in Fast.io, there are some interesting APIs that are available only in the recent versions. So if you drop that requirement, so many interesting opportunities open up.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm
So
gonna
stay up to date.
check the
Exactly.
current, and then like industry sectors are you using React Native in? Let's do that for the whole call stack. Like, let's do this for the whole call stack.
I mean, we would have to select everything, but I guess you just do the communication, right?
I do automotive. Can we, Mike, for the NDAs and stuff? Can we
Don't
spell
ask me
out
this.
all of the industries that we work for?
It's funny because I always, every time I'm on a call, I'm asking whoever is with me, whatever is the current status of the NDA. But certain logos are on the website.
Okay.
Still, I think better safe than sorry. So let's just select the ones that you are personally working on.
Okay, let's say that I work for automotive and I work for TV. So like,
If I was doing this myself, I would select Web3 and crypto because I used to work at Uniswap for over a year, and I was helping very briefly on the mobile wallet, but not for so long.
but I wish we could like just plug in all of the call stack work here. We probably could.
You
it's
have
like
to redo
half
this.
of
You
it.
have to redo this again. For now, you just
Okay.
roll with.
Okay, let's just roll with me.
Yeah,
Platform
because
APIs.
there is so many pieces. I hope we can finish this on this stream because I don't know. This
Yeah,
is very comprehensive.
it
I
is.
would love to see the results of like how many people fill it out, and I wonder if the guys can share maybe the number of people dropping throughout the way because it's really a lot of questions. But let's see what's there.
So, what APIs do you use in your React Native apps? And again, I don't like really work on the app anymore right now because I work on mobile infrastructure. So, like that's
But what do you
that's
use
something
there?
different.
Like, come on, at least accessibility, please.
Well,
Yeah.
let's do the ones that I did in the past year. So, accessibility. I played with 3D graphics
Did you?
on React Summit you remember we were on React Summit in New York, and the next day there was a workshop on 3D graphics. So I attended that for 2
Nice.
hours. We definitely have that in the app. We have that. I haven't set it up, but we have it. Audio playback, no. Background processing.
This is interesting.
I always have an issue. Like audio playback is part of video playback. Like, do you think video is just the images moving or also sound?
No, it's audio is audio only.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I love very first time, but he's also so very 100% sure of like, what is it? I love it. That's the confidence I want to see every day.
No, but we will see the
No,
video.
no blinking
below,
of an eye.
I really hate doing this live because like I know that the app is using some of this. Like I know we use battery because like we
Yeah, you have to consume it, right?
okay, let's say battery I use.
But I think there's like every single API.
Yeah.
100%.
links,
Oh,
definitely.
there is the
Generative
AI, which is
AI?
very interesting.
Is this a React
But that's
Native
on device.
API?
Yeah, but see, it is the Apple Intelligence on device generative models. So this is a very interesting one because up until today, I think there is a way to run, and it's actually by the guys by Software mentioned there is this executor to React Native library, but that is not the question. So that is a very interesting piece to select.
I haven't used this. In-app payments, in-app reviews. In-app reviews, I set some of this up. Live activity. Oh, okay. Local authentication, location, maps, ML. Like this is also.
Yeah, the on-device machine learning. By the way,
definitely permission.
I forgot to tell you guys, and Robert is already gone. But as of 1st of January, we are members of W3C. Finally,
Really? You set it up?
Yes.
Nice.
I still have to make an announcement on Callstack Thursday and in some other places, but yes. And the reason now is that we want to work closer with certain people on certain interesting pieces. So expect some cool stuff in there. And the reason I say it is some of these APIs, there are working groups, so it will be fun. Maybe we can go through some working groups next live stream, which is also very interesting.
Yeah. I skipped one question about the pain points. I don't want to give the open answer.
No problem.
For this one, you can do never heard of it, and used it.
Okay, we can help you with that.
I've heard of Jotai.
I used it, but it's okay.
I've heard of Legend State. I actually
this one I heard, but I never used it.
I think we've met the guy.
Yes,
London.
I was going to say that we've met the guy in London. Sorry, I forgot your name, but you are amazing. Yeah, we spoke a lot about Legend State. It's similar to Mobex. Yeah.
So why does it exist then? Please let me know.
Blazingly fast.
The guy's name is Jay, so I know his name.
Yeah.
Thank you, my memory. I remember Jay's name, and he created this Legend app. This is for like management of some tasks or something, and he just needed a state management, so he built it.
Funny fact, he was a game developer, so maybe that's why he's so focused on performance. He also dropped Legend lists, I guess.
Yes, there is a Legend.
Oh
list
yeah,
right
that
now.
one I have heard. Okay, so
Mobex. Yes, I used it, and I really like Mobex.
I do know Michel, and I know Mobex has been for like ever since. And I may have used it, but I forgot. So I would say just heard of it myself.
I love Mobex, and I've created my own utilities to it, so that I can like plug it
Nice.
into every new project that I make.
Nice. What are
Mobex
they?
state, like the utilities.
Yeah, like just in one sentence, like what's the...
So I've created this like concept of like app lifecycle management. So you would have this like root store, and this root store will have methods on app started, on app backgrounded, on app blah blah blah, and then you would like plug in listeners to that, so that you have all of that lifecycle management for your app inside your like root store, and you can like dispatch things and like run actions and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So Mobex State Tree, I've used it because this, I'm not
Nice.
sure if this is the case, but this was state management that was inside the Ignite boilerplate from Infinite Red.
Yeah, Jamon is very bullish on Mobex State Tree.
Yeah.
I think maybe one day we can have a cross live stream with him, and while he doesn't code his crazy game, he can talk about this one as well.
React built-ins. Oh yeah, definitely.
Of course. And you know what's funny is the built-ins are great. You know, like
But
you can get very far.
I'd split it to simple use state.
And what's
And
else? The
use
context.
reducer.
Ooh.
There is a user.
I wanted
reducer
to
there.
say this reducer is under used. It's underappreciated.
Yeah, it's there. Like you can use reducer there. So
You know, guys,
recoil.
on the reducer, I remember it's crazy, reminds me of the time. But I remember when Dan Abramov came on stage in 2016, I believe that was, and he announced Redux.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I think, right after this Flux pattern by Meta was announced. And, you know, what's priceless is the mind-blown moment we all had when this got announced. Like, we didn't really have this before. Now it's like we take it for granted and we got over it. Like, wow, why would you use Redux?
The crazy thing about Redux and Dan Abramov, and he said that in a React documentary, is that he got invited to a conference and he basically created Redux to have something to talk about on that
The
conference.
conference-driven development. Exactly. And that conference was React Europe. And I can say I was proud to have a lightning talk there. Just a
Nice.
lightning talk about a library for universal React apps. So I preceded the times of React Native.
Yeah.
Okay.
Recoil. I've heard of it. Is this the one that they open source at Meta?
Isn't this the one that just got sunset like last week? Or
I think
am I
so. I think so. Should we check?
Yeah, do it. And also maybe if you can pull up... Oh, Jesus Christ. No, not this one. Recoil React. Facebook experimental. Maybe just check the GitHub, because this is probably not.
Yeah. Facebook experimental. Yeah.
What a perfect day to archive the project. 1st of January. Cool.
Okay, I've heard of it.
Rest in peace.
Redux, used it. Redux toolkit.
Never used it.
Xstate. I've played around with it, not
Really?
for a long time.
And
Yeah,
how is this a React state management library? Because I see Xstate being used in a few other state machine projects, specifically around
like
AI.
you can use it in React, so it's a React state library. Like you
I mean,
can
is
use
it like dedicated for React or just general purpose like Mobex?
Well, like with Callstack query, right?
Mhm.
It is a React query library, but you can use it in other frameworks as well.
Mhm.
So like probably this is the same. I've used it in React. I cannot say that I know how to use it well, but like
Mhm.
I played around with it for 20 minutes. Let's say
Interesting.
I've
Okay.
heard of it.
So you can cross it. Yeah. Legit.
Yeah, it's an overstatement that I actually used it. Zustand. I've watched many videos about it from Jack Harrington.
Hmm. Can you guys explain to? I mean, you don't have to explain to me, but don't you also find it like same author created also both Zustan and Jotai? Like I'm a huge fan of Jotai, and I always find it maybe not super confusing, but it's not like I know it inside out. When would I use this one over the other one?
Mm,
Honestly, I'm also a big fan of both. I don't know how you say it. Like I see it as a German word, Zustand. Like Zustand and Jotai are my favorite state management libraries.
Zustand. Well, we don't have Mark. Maybe we should call him. He would tell us. But yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a German word, so I want to say Zustand, but like whatever. It's a super small library. I forgot the author's name, but he even made like the tutorial on official website, and it's so clearly written. I don't understand why people didn't pick it up.
Yeah. No, I think the author. Jesus Christ, I have his name at the end of my tongue, at the tip of my tongue, because Daishi.
Something like that, yeah.
He, I did have one interaction with him, which is fine. He is probably super busy, but I remember the other day. Oh, Waku is also very cool. We should also, for the next live stream, I suggest we do some live coding. I can do the live coding, but we should play around with these libraries. But I did have one, and he also created Valtio, like Burak, you're right. And I did have one interaction with him on GitHub where I opened up an issue, and I believe I had some question, but he was rather very short on answer. Just closed the issue and was like, "Read the docs" or something like that, which is fine. But it was just funny. The library is very, I would say, written in a very everything there is like very specific, right? And like very technical, but also very easy to understand, which I like. But I'm on the Jotai side. I've been using Jotai since like 2 years, and I love atoms, derived atom values, and it's awesome.
so for
And I think it's a
Zustand,
group
we
of
say
people.
we heard of it.
Yeah.
What other state management solution? Not
This
consuming
is the one
variables?
we've been waiting for.
Global variables.
Yes. Globals.
Sure.
I mean, no. I mean, to be very honest with you, what else?
No, like this is actually it. Mutating global variables.
Like
No,
I've
I mean,
seen some people doing like local storage for state management, and it was crazy to debug, but you
what
can see
about
it in the
React?
wild.
I mean, this is React Native, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see more answers on the web. But what about all these? The React query.
React query will be in data fetching probably.
Yeah, but
this
I mean,
is not necessarily a state management. It's
but
like
it's
a
often used for it.
server
Actually, it
state.
is.
I mean, you can. I mean, maybe you even should use it for the state management as well, especially for the backend derived data.
Server state management, yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be in data fetching.
Okay, I use React Query with Jotai together, and it's pretty sick. And to be honest with you, this is the problem I always had. Maybe it's a skill issue, but React Query, and this is the update as of like 6 months ago, so might be different today. But React Query together with client-side React is like holy grail of dashboard development for me. Every time I go with some server-side driven frameworks for doing dashboards and admin applications, I'm just going crazy. Maybe it's my mental model of like being, started with like Angular and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. almost certainly a skill issue. Could be that. At least I know how to use Tailwind, which makes me user of your library too. But that's thanks to Cursor as well. Okay. React Query is a good one.
I will not say any. Like, I haven't used nothing but Redux and MobX, honestly, in the past year.
Yeah. Flux.
Is Flux a standalone library or?
Used to be, but
Okay.
I don't know.
What on-device storage solutions do you use in React Native apps? So I don't use Expo. I use React Native Storage.
MMKV. Let's go.
What's the difference between those two?
Nice. Interesting. Honestly, like I don't
thought
know.
like that this is the one from Mark.
Pull it up.
And-
Pull it up on Google. Maybe they're both. I guess there is Ore guy.
Okay, yeah, this is the one from Mark.
Yeah.
And then...
maybe the storage one is from Margello.
And this is the one from someone else.
Okay.
So
okay, okay. So here is the thing. Okay, see, this is the thing. They're both wrapping MMAKV, right?
Yeah, which is like
Here's the
standalone solution for some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which one has
This
more
one
stars?
encrypts.
The stars. So this one has 1.6 and this one has 6.4. So 5 times more.
Nice. And which one is encrypted?
The storage one, the second tab. I can see it's in the image.
In the image.
Oh,
Small and encrypted. Like in the README, the header.
we need to call Mark. I will ask him why the hell MMAKV is not encrypted.
Okay. Let's say where am I? Okay, here. Let's say that I use this. I don't use Mike's.
I asked
Mark's.
I asked Mark, and he just saw my message on WhatsApp. He says MMKV is encrypted, bro. Okay, bro. Let's go.
Awesome. Let's go.
I played around with Realm for the podcast that I did with someone from Realm like 2 years ago, and I know from Kren that the Realm is sunsetting soon.
Or maybe I think it's the hope. I honestly I'm not gonna comment because I don't want to confuse anybody. But
maybe
I
I'm
believe
mistaken as well. Like I don't know. This is
Watermelon DB is also pretty cool. You know, I mean, I will always love this database for my friendship with Radek and his passion for it. When I speak to somebody who makes database, I feel like the guy's crazy, and he's very passionate about it. I'm sure he would love to redo it again if he was given time. But he's been into startups lately. Maybe we should ask him one day as well what he's been up to.
I'm gonna say that I use only this right now.
Nice.
Pain points. I don't want to like write.
Honestly, I don't think we have many. Like, I don't know. Maybe I just got it to this stage where I just keep rolling with stuff. Honestly, I don't know what I would say. I'm good. Jotai is like.
So the local first app architecture, I've heard of it, and like this is connected to Realm because like this is local first database.
You know who would be very bullish on this one? Nate from Tamagui. He's building this framework one, and he is very into local first. He actually teamed up with the guys that build a lot of local first infrastructure. And there is also one guy extremely passionate about it from Czech Republic, Daniel. He's been like building some local first frameworks as well. It's pretty cool.
You should post like when you mention someone, and if you can find their Twitter handle or Blue Sky handle, just post it in the comments. Maybe people just want to follow
The
those
problem
people.
is when I click join the chat, it says connect with YouTube. When I press it, will it open new tab or?
Can't you just do it here? Here?
Oh, I'll do this on the private chat, and then maybe you can.
If you want to message me, just message me on Slack, because like I'm looking at the comments all the time.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, let's go to data fetching. Guys, we are like 20% in.
Wow.
We're what? Because I dropped.
Like 20% in the survey.
Oh my god! I hope we don't have to do a follow up. Let's go. Let's. Jesus Christ. Okay,
Yeah.
let's.
Data fetching to provide. But okay, I've used it, not in the last
Okay, let's
year.
be quick. Apollo client.
I used it. Axios. I
Axios.
used it.
I use it.
Fetch
It's pretty
API,
cool.
Used it.
Yes.
Relay.
Her.
No, I've used the Apollo.
Apollo.
So
Relay. Honestly, I never used.
I've used RTK query. This one, can you explain to me what it is? I saw the name many times, but I haven't like read on it anything.
Stale while revalidate, I think it was called, or something like that. It's from Vercel, I think. It's basically use query without cache, without caching a thing. It just caches the thing. It's a very simple, very compact library. I think it's just a couple of kilobytes. If you don't need the whole query, then you can use it.
So
there's one drawback.
I've never heard of it because I only know the name.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Callstack query is my favorite.
Yeah, I've used it.
And you know,
this
I
is
met
React
Tanner.
Query. Yeah.
I met Tanner in person, and he is great. And
he's one of the most energetic people that I spoke with.
And you know what was funny was when I told him, it's nice to meet you, and I'm using your work. He actually told me that he recognizes my face, and I'm like, that is so awesome. So I already felt that we knew each other. But he's cool. Like, he's posting a lot of cool stuff on Twitter. Not 100% related to tech, which is also very nice.
Also, like Tanner and you, I find like I see similarities between you two. Like,
between
I think
who?
you are both workaholics. He is shipping you and Tanner. Yes, you both are shipping so much stuff. The amount of libraries that have Callstack in them.
He's like beyond anything. Yeah. You know, I feel a bit guilty, so I'm gonna say it live so nobody can. Oh, yeah, there you go, Mark. You know what's funny? Me and Mark have this idea. Maybe if there is enough people for one day, we're gonna do this. We've been using 11 Labs, and I do have this. I do have this video where I invite people to React Native EU in German, and this is transcripted for 11 Labs. And we did the same. I did the same, but the opposite for Mark. And the idea was that we're gonna do a live stream where I speak German and he speaks Polish
through 11 Labs.
Exactly.
Great.
Okay. Even though I can say some stuff like "Wie heißt du" and "Zustand" because we spent some time with
Daniel.
Exactly. The other words I cannot say live. Otherwise, this will be the last live we do together because of the Twitter ban. But yeah, Mark told me these are very polite words. Anyway, that was the idea. And it's pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate.
Can you translate live through 11 Labs? When I played around with it a couple of months ago, it takes quite a lot of time to translate short video.
Yeah, I don't know, but one of the projects I want to do for my staff is, oh my God, whoever makes this happen is going to become a billionaire. Like, I'm immediately investing in this project. Is just give me an AI assistant that will be picking up my phone calls using my voice, and just speaking to people immediately live and then just sending me some notes. Like, this is the game over.
Well, I saw that either on Google Conference or I think it was on Google Conference. Like Google Assistant can do that for you, maybe in States only, or I don't know.
Yeah, that was like a
Pixels?
long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm going to find this video of me in German, and I'm just gonna pull it live. I'll find it. Just give me 2 minutes. Meanwhile, you just go
Mike,
with the.
I'm not sure if you play the video, we will hear the sound.
No. I
We
will
can
send
try.
it to you on Slack and
And what? What will I do with it?
abilities.
Okay, let's go. So Callstack query, I've used
Exactly.
it. TRPC, I'm ashamed, but I've only heard of it. I'm not. I didn't use it.
Did you?
Other data fetching solutions. Yes, you didn't
Fetch.
mention RTK query, which I actually used.
Okay, I have it. Let me try if I can share my screen.
Go ahead.
But I'm not sure if you guys will hear. If you guys will hear it as well, but I'm going to do it now.
Let's see.
Hey, falls du es noch.
So, can you
We
hear
can
it?
hear it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go.
Sorry,
Let's go.
let me. I need to add your screen share. Let's
Okay,
go.
so add it. So I'll put the live one first. First of all, let me put the Polish one.
Just in case you haven't noticed, we have just published a full lineup of React Native EU with all the speakers.
Whatever. I'm just doing some stuff, and here is the
Yeah.
German one. You still can see it? Maybe not.
yet.
Okay, I'll do it like this.
Hey, falls du es noch nicht bemerkt hast, wir haben gerade das vollständige Programm von React Native EU mit allen Sprechern veröffentlicht. Es sieht wirklich stark aus.
It's pretty
also
cool, and I do have it in many other languages. I also did it in Polish. Look at this one.
Hey, na wypadek, gdybyś nie zauważył, właśnie opublikowaliśmy pełną listę prelegentów na React Native EU. Wygląda to naprawdę świetnie, więc
I'm just like, this is so crazy. I have it in Hindi, Ukrainian, Czech, like Russian, Japanese, Italian. Italian is pretty cool.
Ehi, nel caso non te ne fossi accorto, abbiamo appena pubblicato l'intero programma di React Native EU con tutti i relatori. È davvero eccezionale. Quindi non...
So I would say, guys, like, we can do this, you know. Oh, the Russian, yeah, the Russian was pretty accurate. Dan, I always keep forgetting you speak it fluently. And I will have to learn as well, because the place where I am right now, everybody speaks Russian to me, because in this part of the world, if you look like this, you are from Russia, like no matter what. So I have to learn some stuff.
Pretty cool, no?
Anyway, back to the state of React.
Yeah, let's go to navigation.
Okay, this one we know the answer.
I've used Export Router, not extensively, but I tried it. It's gonna be huge. Like Export is building, like Export Router is like the foundation for all of the things that they are building right now. So this is a foundation
Yes.
for server components, for API routes, for
Yes.
like multi-platform applications. That's
Yes.
huge.
I honestly, I think, like, for, by the way, Lukasz, can you put your screen up?
Sorry. Yeah. Thanks.
I think, you know, if I was on the Expo team, I would be so hyped, because I think that for them it is finally the moment when, like, everything starts to connect all together. Like, it is such a huge time for them now with the Expo Router and all the features, and the other framework that is going the other way from the web. It is going to be interesting, all I can say. We'll see what happens.
And if you want to know something more about Export Router and server components, go check the latest podcast, the React Universe on Air podcast that I did with Evan Bacon from Expo, author of Export Router.
Exactly. You know what's funny about Evan? He told me this because he's from Texas. He was shooting the cans with the gun. Like, when I was talking about guns with him in Vegas, he was like, well, that's not even a question. It's so funny. Maybe one day we can visit him and do a little bit of he can show us some tricks.
React Native Navigation. Never used it.
It's the Wix one. I used it.
Yeah.
I used it by client's requirement back in 2017, I believe, or 18.
Is it still like maintained? Like, is it still?
Yeah,
a thing?
briefly. In fact, I came across a question from Wix. They were thinking about rewriting to support latest React Native. I don't know. Maybe they still have some internal use.
When I search for React Native Navigation
it's
spelled
there.
exactly, it's not here. Like, it's the third.
It's the third one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, is
Okay.
this how you brushed up your C++? Pull up, Lukasz, pull up the contributors, because I see Mark is there, the third guy from the right on the second row.
Here?
Let's see what Mark did. Maybe some typo contributions, as far as I know
Where's Mark?
him. Yeah, just put the contributors up. This
Okay.
black guy. I mean the black avatar. Yeah, just look up the bottom of the list.
Yeah. here he
Oh,
is.
there he is. Yeah. What did he do? 29 commits. Nice.
Yeah, he did a bunch of things in 2020.
What he was like?
Do we really
18?
want to do this? Do we really
18
want
back then? No, just click it because he's in the chat. I promised him to give him some.
But
not this,
how
but
do
not
I
this
go
click.
to his particular contribution?
Just press the commit, the 29
okay,
commit.
thanks. Yeah.
And yeah, in Austria, you apparently speak C++ in high school. Yeah, the very clever messages. So the guy knows
A bunch of
he knows
different
how
things.
he knows how to code for sure.
Something
Fix
Cardi there.
There
Yes.
is the fix dead links in docs.
Okay, let's go. Let's go back to this. React Native Navigation, I've heard of it. React Native Screens, definitely used it. Like, everyone
Not directly.
used it.
Did you use it directly or indirectly?
No. What I was going to say is that everyone is using this. Just not everyone knows about it. And they just released the 4th version of it, V4 for React Native Screens. So thanks, Software Mention. Awesome work with this.
You know, I think we have to I see some activity on the YouTube channel. I wish there was a way to easily call into Mark and Dan, because I know especially this section about navigation is something that Mark would have a lot to say.
If you want to invite someone and you have like direct conversation with them, just give them the link that you see on the address bar and they can come in. I will let them in.
Oh,
yeah,
that is going to make this live stream 4 hours long if I let him in. I know
I have time.
I promised him to do this live stream last year, like in December, but we never made it. Just
Burak, this is exactly why I don't want to post the link here.
The lobby will be now 50 people.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be fine. Just imagine anybody at the coffee shop in New York. That's a nice humble brag. Thank you, Dan. We all appreciate your lifestyle.
We all wish we were in coffee shop in New York.
Exactly. We're just sitting in Poland, freezing or whatever.
So React Navigation, definitely used it.
Sorry. Another off topic. Sorry. But guys, I have freaking awesome idea. And Mark said it now about Call of Duty. Whatever. We all played Counter-Strike, I guess, right? Did you guys play it? Never? Mark?
Rush B.
Okay. So here's the thing. I'm also like, I'm not a good player, but can you tell me how the hell we make a map of our office?
Can we tell you how we can make map of our office?
Yeah, where do we even find the guy? No, I mean, just make the Counter-Strike map of the whole building in our office, and let's just play like the bomb has been planted or whatever.
Chris's office, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, I think we can just open any modeling software. I think Blender. I think we have some people like Kevin who is really fluent in it.
Because I really want to do it. Like I think we should play it. I Okay, we will follow up to this conversation. Next live stream, hopefully we play Counter-Strike in Callstack office. Oh my god, we're gonna set up a public server for everybody to join, and
Mike,
whoever
I need
wins,
to
we will
interrupt
give a
you.
bounty.
Because I'm struck right now because this is React Router bar remix, and you can use it in React Native app. I didn't know about this. Like, this is news for me. Do you know anything about that?
I mean, I didn't. I don't know. I mean, I remember many years ago I spoke with Michael about making React Router for React Native. So apparently they made it.
And yeah, and like this by remix is misleading because React Router precedes remix by like 6 years or something.
I mean, it's technically called React Router again, isn't it?
Remix is called React Router. Yeah, it is. So I've never heard of it. No.
You can say it, yeah.
I've heard of it, haven't used it.
This one I never heard of.
Really? It was they had a talk. Fernando had a talk at App.js like 2 or 3 years ago about this. This is a way to combine your React Native code and Next.js code.
Maybe.
The navigation router. Nope. I don't know.
Never heard.
Other navigation solutions. I guess you can just have a switch statement and just render screens in switch statement. Are you familiar with file-based routing architecture pattern? Yes, this is React Router. Styling. I've heard of Dripsy, but not much.
I also heard this name somewhere. Now this is the question that
emotion, like for CSS in JS libraries, I wonder what are the differences between all of these. Like we have one at Callstack as well. It's called Linaria,
but it's not there in the.
Let's see, maybe it is.
I don't see it on the sidebar.
It is,
but
not.
It used to be
But
used to be big.
What is difference between different CSS in JS libraries? Like the API looks exactly like styled components.
See.
And Linaria as well, the API looks exactly like styled components, isn't it?
Maybe it's just the runtime performance or zero runtime in this case.
Okay, I have not heard about emotion. Sorry, inline styling. That's my favorite. When you use cursor in React Native, this is what it spits out,
and
then you have to tell it directly. Just use style sheet.
Hey, so actually, question to Dan, if he's still around. How big of a coverage is there with Tailwind? Oh, this is with the native wind.
Native wind? Like I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Are we waiting for Dan to respond right now?
Let's just. Mostly, I like the answer. There's probably some stuff around gradients that doesn't work, but I mean, what's funny is ever since AI came into play, I just use Tailwind all the time, and I think somebody posted this lately that all these AI tools, they just default to React and Tailwind for most of the time, so that will just make them even more popular.
Theo wrote on Twitter that Tailwind is the styling language for AI.
Yeah. And I use it pretty much as well. I mean,
I think because it is like the styles live in the same file as your like React components or HTML components. So it's easier to just write one file instead of like CSS modules and then components and classes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Tailwind, at least on the web, is infinite possibilities. It's just that not just the predefined classes, but any random stuff. Pixels, you can even refer to child elements as well through it. So honestly, my mind is blown away. I've been building secret projects for the past 2 or 3 weeks on the web with Tailwind, and it's pretty cool. I love it.
It's great. Native Wind. Okay, React Native Unistyles. I think I heard the name, but like
I know the guy's from Rzeszów.
Jacek Pudysz.
Let's go. He's been one of the early adapters of Nitro. That's how I came across him. I've never used the library though, but this is the one based on Nitro
I really
modules.
like how Software Mention give attributes at each like library or solution. That's great. That's actually like helps out a lot.
Yeah.
And gives attribute to people that worked on this.
Yeah.
React Strict DOM. Oh, this is close
Yeah.
to my heart, but I have not used it.
Mixed
I really
feelings
like-
about.
I've heard of it, yes. Restyle.
Who's got the
never
cat?
heard of it. This is my cat because my wife
Ah.
just came back from work and like it's actually
that
my cat's
means-
birthday today. Honestly, he's 10.
Jesus Christ, nice. You know, there is this coffee place in Dubai where you have cats and you can go have coffee and sit with the cats. I don't have a pet, but I always wanted one. So every time I want to pet somebody, I just go there. And cats are awesome.
Great question from Burak, who asked, has anyone actually used it? Meaning used React Strict DOM already. Can we use it already? Mario, do you know?
No clue. Like I'm still living under the rock, so most of the.
But isn't Robert
panels here.
working on something adjacent to this? So
Good question. I think he was playing around it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you were not able to use it, it wouldn't be here, right? There is a lot of things in the strict DOM beyond styling as well. I guess maybe it will come up later.
Okay, I'm just speedrunning this right now.
Yeah. Tamagui, I used it, and honestly, I had the best out. I mean, we should also talk with Nate one day because he's like on this evangelizing war with Twitter to make everybody realize that Tamagui is awesome. But it really is a comprehensive library, and Nate is pretty cool.
I'm gonna use it.
And actually, you know what's funny is that the entire Uniswap website and the Uniswap wallet is running on Tamagui stuff, which he had a lot of influence on, and that's cool.
Okay, Tailwind React Native class names.
Never heard of it.
I've never heard of it, but like that's probably counterpart to Native Wind, right?
Interesting.
And then
Okay.
other styling solutions. Okay, let's go to graphics and animations.
Jesus.
This
How
is
many we
comprehensive.
have?
We
Maybe-
have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6.
Honestly, I'm
There's
afraid.
still,
I'm
like-
afraid. I'm afraid to say we might not be able to finish this at all. So maybe we just go over the remaining categories. Otherwise, we're just gonna run for like 2, 3, or whatever hours. But it's really comprehensive.
Well, I love it. Like, it's great that we have the state of React Native and like.
Yeah. I mean, we can learn about a lot of libraries, like this Moti library, what it is.
Okay,
The
I've
first
heard
one
about
from the top.
Mori. Mori is built on top of Reanimated, and it's like simpler animations. It's not like you are not building them directly in primitives, but you have some like higher level APIs exposed.
You know what's funny? Today, building animations is just so easy in React. I don't know if you guys were all living under the rock and building mobile apps. Maybe you missed all the great updates on the web, but the Framer Motion library and all the people building UI libraries on top of Motion. Holy, this is so crazy. I mean, all the parallax stuff. I remember like 8 years ago, if you were able to do it, you were like a rock star. And now it's just a component. It's pretty sick. It's pretty much end game on the web. Like, I'm surprised how big of the difference it is. Use native driver, true. Should be there. Should be there. Use native driver, yes.
Okay.
I just wait when somebody will create like CSS animations for React Native.
Maybe that's you.
Maybe. But like, I think it's gonna be great because then you have feature parity with web and mobile, right?
Yeah. I know Mark
Let's
would
do
love to do it,
opinions.
but he hates building web APIs, so he's not gonna make it.
Guys, let's wrap it
Okay.
up with resources and opinions. Let's do those two together, okay? So
Go skip.
which resource
Just to name them, just so we know what's there.
which resource types have you used initially, like years ago, to learn React Native?
How did you learn?
React
How
Native
did you all
docs
learn?
on the job.
There were no
not
docs
training
when I
but
started.
it should be on the job without training.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But on the job, and then podcasts definitely. Like when I started coding React Native, the React Native radio had already like 50 or more than that episodes. What I did was I went through the whole catalog of earlier episodes, and then I listened to React Native radio as soon as they come out. And then you started, Mike, doing the podcast, and I started doing listening to your podcast as well.
Nice.
It really helped me out. Like actually, like this helped me out much more than like on the job learning. And self-directed, and then videos? No, not videos. Okay. Which resources do you consult to deepen your
Source
Definitely
code.
docs,
That's it.
Expo docs as well, React Native blog, Expo blog as well. I don't really read other blogs.
You don't read Software Mention or Callstack?
Sometimes when I have a question from client about some like intricacies of React Native, I would search on the web and I would find Callstack blog posts about it.
Maybe the ones you wrote yourself. That's
No.
even crazier.
The ones from Ola or from Oscar or from Dratva. I see blogs from Dratva from years ago about the topics that people ask me about. So now
I have to agree here with Burak that Medium started to be not that good. Like I had a trick before that you added cache and colon to the URL, so you saw the full article without any like paid like gates, but they removed it. So now it sucks.
And then there are a lot of them. I actually Simon Grimm, he's great. I watched.
Oh yeah, I was reading
videos.
I was reading this blog actually today.
I think Vadim has a series on YouTube as well about building in React Native. I watched some of the episodes there. This one I've read like 3 or 4 times. And
you know, it's really interesting. I mean, I'm super excited that so many resources we create are in this pool. That's nice. And yeah. By the way, I do have to answer this question because both Dan and Mark are asking when we do a live stream, because I did promise them we do it, and you guys just pick the day. And
yeah, come on over.
I have this fancy microphone for a reason. Now I have to do a few more live streams so I can put the invoice for the company expense, if you know what I mean. So this is the first one.
Let's go with newsletters. I read Infinite Red newsletter.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you read ours? Okay, I mean
that's enough.
I don't want to answer that.
Answer is an answer.
No, actually, I do. I do, and I get our newsletter on both company email and my own personal email. This week in React. This is the greatest newsletter. I don't read Vadim's. I don't read Expo. There's a bunch of other newsletters like u.dev or something like that. This one
the
is
problem
great.
is attention. Like, there is so much news around. There is just no time for it all. I just read one. I don't even have
Okay.
time to read it.
Podcast. I definitely listen to React Native Radio and to Hours, and sometimes to Rocket Ship by Simon. And I want to mention Jack Harrington as well.
What are you, Burak, clipping? I don't know what I said. Maybe the invoice stuff.
Jack Harrington has this front end fire or something.
By the way,
React
Łukasz,
Native
are we streaming on Twitch as well, or this is just
No,
YouTube?
this
and
is Twitter and YouTube.
Okay.
We can do Twitch as well next time.
I do have channel with like 10K people. Maybe I can unfreeze it.
Nice.
But
Okay.
it's
React
different
Native directory,
audience.
heard of it. I'm not sure if this is relevant anymore. Like, I think it used to be very relevant for React Native developers back in a day, like a few years ago. I'm not
Maybe.
sure if this still is the case. I don't want to write.
So here is the thing. Since I used to do a lot of social media content, I do not watch anybody. I just cannot process information from YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
Okay.
I know these guys, and I like them. I watch Fireship because it's very short. That's the only one.
Yes. They have like 3 9-minute videos or something like that, and it's really fun to watch. Okay, maybe I will go back here and like put some names here, but maybe not now.
Yeah, of course. What are you gonna
other-
put? Like some commentaries, like Logan Paul, the Coffeezilla.
No.
Just, it's okay. Kardashians, I don't know. That's boomer stuff, I guess. I don't
What
know.
other
I don't know
developer
what's
service
trending.
do you participate in?
State of CSS.
State of React, State of JS.
Do we really have
That's all.
state of HTML?
What's the state of HTML? Oh, sorry for that.
That is so exciting.
Okay,
Maybe state
opinions.
of HTMX.
Oof. Is React Native moving in the right direction? I agree strongly.
I think so.
Building React Native is overly complex right now. And like this is going back to the beginning of this live stream. Like it depends, but for most of the users, I don't agree. Like it's easier and easier, and with Expo specifically.
Maybe people there's so many new people coming to this space that being honest might be hard. I remember when it was so hard that today is just a breeze.
Yeah, yeah. When you had to link libraries manually, right? In Xcode and like drag and drop some weird things.
Business as usual, I would say.
The React Native ecosystem is changing too fast. I would actually maybe
Would
not
you
agree.
agree?
I would be neutral on this.
I would strongly disagree.
Me as well.
Again, like we have all of those different directions. Maybe like it is growing in breadth, the breadth of React Native, the surface area is growing a lot. And if you want to be on top of everything, it's just like impossible to.
But do you remember I used to do releases every 2 weeks? That was
for
fast.
React Native?
Of course. And that was just npm publish from the terminal. And that is not so distant past.
But that's React Native itself. This is React Native ecosystem, right? So this is like Nitro modules. This is the WebAssembly stuff that you talked about. This is all of the state managements that we have. All of that, right?
Yeah, definitely changing too fast. Mark shouldn't create this. Why
Mark,
do we even need it?
Just take it out of the GitHub.
Exactly. Maybe we. Yes.
What are the things that make you feel annoyed while developing React Native apps?
Oh my God, so many.
I like.
This is a pretty comprehensive list. Whoever made that.
I don't really. Nothing here annoys me, honestly.
You're just this type of guy.
Maybe the platform inconsistencies when you like work on the project that targets like 7 different platforms, but
Keyboard. What about Coca pods? Swift package manager. On a side project.
Maybe multiple build tools, like everything can be united with like one.
Okay, do you feel that something is currently missing from React Native?
For sure. What's the flat list situation? We don't have anything in the core, right? All these are community libraries. I'm going to say, from my perspective, we need Swift UI and Jetpack Compose integration, but this is a problem because of the way React's done. And me, Mark, Mario, we've experimented. I also think we should have better web compatibility. The fact that WebSocket is not a WebSocket W3C compliant maybe is not a big of an issue for most cases until it's an issue. So that would be cool.
I would add maybe stable ABI for modules.
Especially Nitro, huh?
Yeah, but I think he would need to move away from GSI. Node, wink, wink.
Yeah,
and then we can have reloadable, right?
Okay.
Yeah, the Swift UI will be interesting, Mark. If you can tell on the stream next time how this would solve it, that would be pretty sick. Because the problem is with the root. But I think what's great for Swift UI on the Leaf node side is the different features, like the text view has support for Markdown and formatting, and just some basic stuff like that. But it's so annoying, like just the mental model of using Swift UI is so weird. Like the fact that you can use a background view of a Swift UI view to attach another view, and that is a pop-up, is just mind-blowing.
I need to leave you for a minute. I will be right back.
So who's gonna scroll?
Speak more.
Just leave the advantages. Yeah.
React Native advantages, but okay, maybe I can do this.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we can just talk some nonsense and start wrapping it up. I have my flight tomorrow back to Poland, so I need to go to sleep as well. So, Mario, advantages of React Native over other solutions?
I would say definitely code sharing. Maybe not all, but it's still a lot of business logic shared. Community is the greatest resource we have. Being cross-platform, I would put an asterisk there because there are some issues with out-of-clip platforms. I think React Native is more tilted towards mobile platforms, the one that they support in 3.
Yeah, but it's also towards iOS, isn't it? And I think this is what we discussed the other day, right? That if we started something with Android first attitude, what would it be? Would it be any better than it is right now, right?
I think so. We should not start with iOS.
But how is that even possible? Like, is iOS just different, or is Android so bad? But if I've been doing Mac, iOS development and all that stuff, what did go wrong that Android is just so weird? Like, who's in minority? They did fuck it up, or is just iOS so weird and we just got used to it?
I would say it's just because Apple has a vision and control over iOS. Like Android developers were going crazy, all the manufacturers going their own way. Maybe that's the reason why it's so bad.
But isn't the API just so weird? Like Windows development, native development, and Android. Like honestly, like I was doing native development on iOS, and when I saw Android documentation, I was like, "There is no way I'm doing this." And then I found React Native.
Dan says that poor people use Android. Only in United States. Like, I feel that in the States, everyone is using iOS. And like in Europe, it's not
This
really
is
the
very
case.
polarizing topic right now. US, Europe, but I think maybe.
Look what I checked for advantages
In
of
Europe,
React Native over Agile solutions.
We can put the apps. So
Oh, holy moly. I see Mark
think
is
you-
trying to steal the idea of ABI. I think we might have to rush up with our projects.
Okay, so that's my advantages for React
Yeah.
Native. Like, I feel that everything from here is better than other.
React,
Okay, maybe
React Native is the best. That's
Yeah.
the answer.
About me, I'm Łukasz. Where do you currently
How old are
reside?
you, Łukasz, by the way?
So I'm still 35. I'm gonna be 36.
35? Are you really 35?
Yes,
Are you not kidding?
I'm quite old.
Really? You don't look
Yeah.
like it. You don't
Thank
look
you.
like it.
I try to
Wow.
eat healthy, and like I have the best job in the world,
Honestly, I
you-
had zero knowledge. I'm so impressed now. If you're not making fun of me, honestly, looking very good.
Thank you. Like I said, if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life, and I really love what I do at Callstack.
Nice. And Mario, you, how old are you?
I'm 32 approaching.
Nice. So
Should
we
we
are
do the average?
I'm 32 as well. I'm 32 as well.
So the
But I'm
weighted average would be-
changing my haircut. So I'm growing, and I'll have Mark Rusavi type of haircut soon. So like with the hair like this up onto the glasses.
I really like this answer because the nation of Poland is carrying React Native on our shoulders.
Exactly.
I think
How long?
I think this.
Programming, oh Jesus, 20 years. Could be Dreamweaver, Adobe Dreamweaver.
Oh, yes.
Mark, you started going to the gym. That's I don't believe you. This guy does not go to gym. Last time we were going to gym, we ended up in jacuzzi. I'm not making
Dan,
this up.
this is my favorite meme. The nation of Poland and like React Native ecosystem. That's great. I love that meme. Actually, let me share it.
We started a movement. Maybe one day the president of Poland will give us a medal.
I'm waiting
the right
once
word.
we're gonna change the name of the project to React Nativne or something like that.
Exactly. We should not learn any other language. It's time to learn Polish and for Polish comments to be in the source code.
I think someone stole your meme. If that's your meme.
Which one? I did not make this meme.
No. I mean Dan.
Dan, you made this meme. You are the hero.
This one.
You never use myself on the memes you make, because if they go viral and you have clear track record, I'll be fucked. That's nice.
Okay, guys, let's wrap it up. Let's do
Yeah.
this. How
It's
long
almost
you've been
midnight
working
over
with or
here.
studying React Native in years? I think more than 5. Yeah, definitely more than 5. I worked.
And
for
how many
Callstack
years
for
you've been at
almost 4.
Callstack?
Almost 4.
Nice.
How big is your company in numbers of employees?
This one.
This is a weird category.
I love it. It's how we all put ourselves together with software mention. That's nice.
Do you have a higher education degree?
Of course.
No, I
You
actually
don't?
don't. No,
Really?
I studied IT, but I haven't finished.
You are a dropout.
Yeah, but I have a
Nice.
bunch of friends and that I'm still really good friends with, that we went together to the same school.
See, I told you, we never looked at degrees. I mean, maybe Mario now does when looking for C++ freaks, but I don't know.
No, actually, I'm also thinking that education, like studying programming, is just useless unless you're really starting from.
At least it's free in Poland, so there's that.
Yeah.
You
But
can
I wish
find
I
my
had the balls
salary.
to drop out.
You can find my salary on like open positions at Callstack if you search for like
Yeah, we
senior and
pay
expert
we pay
developers.
more than 200K. Just like, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. This is yearly, so
Well,
it's
I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure how much is dollar worth. So
I think
maybe?
this is the
But
category.
let's. I will select this later. I will calculate on my own.
Of course. You remember they're closing this today, I guess. So
Also,
care, you have to
actually, like,
hurry.
if you are searching for work, Callstack is always hiring good React Native developers, and we
Always.
pay really well. Like, if you look
Yes.
at the open positions on like job forums, Callstack is on the top there. Really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
So
you can
And
get
now we
to work
work
I'm
with
just
many.
gonna select this, even if
You
this is
can-
not
yeah.
true at the moment. Like, you can make that much money at Callstack definitely if you are good.
And we are
you
hiring
work-
C++ developers.
Exactly. Because we are on a war with Mark. So now we will see whoever writes better C++ code.
Dan, we don't see the link. If you posted a link somewhere, we don't see it. Okay, I'm a man, and like
I told you, Mike told you on a live stream. Exactly.
how
How they could improve the survey. One thing that I would love is if they tell me ahead of time how much time I need. Maybe they told me and we skipped it. But I wish they tell us.
Checkpoints, like in games, just checkpoints so you can go back with this.
Yeah. Should say like you need like 2 hours. That would be awesome. Because yeah, we really need a lot of time to do it right.
Well, also we had a lot of digressions, but yeah, probably like 2 hours to fill it in correctly.
I mean, if this was a proper Twitch live stream, that would go for 8 hours, because people do that, right? Then we would have the whole day, but we would have to make a break for pizza and just some crazy other stuff. But live streams are always that long. It's just part of the show.
Grzegorz says that he did that in 20 minutes.
That guy.
You are a liar.
I used to write Angular with this guy. Yeah. Yeah. Liar. Maybe he was just crossing no everywhere.
Guys, I think like we did this. Oh, that was great idea, by the way, Mike. Awesome.
Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't estimate the time, because I was not I was hoping we would maybe not spend that much time, but I'm looking on Twitter. We constantly have a growing user base, which I can tell you from my limited influencer experience. The thing with live streams, there's 2 things my friends that do big live streams were always telling me. Actually 3. Always, first one, do donations, but then 2 real suggestions. The first one is consistency. So if you do daily Twitch streams or whatever, just be regular and do it always the same time. And second, do it long. So if you do like 5-6 hours, watch YouTube, blah, 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 maybe just live stream the whole day at work. This is how you grow the user base, and chat with the chat. So to be honest, I'm not surprised that we have more people on Twitter now after 2 hours. And honestly, we would have even more if we did for another 3.
The next time, let's agree that we'll be streaming for more than 2 hours. Today, I was under the impression that
would be a long time.
I mean, let's maybe not agree, but let's have it agreed that we could. Okay, because like
Maybe we
today
can
I
do
was
some
thinking that
work.
we will do like 1.5 hours, and also like I knew that Robert will drop, so it was
Yeah.
a good thing that we had 4 people from the beginning. Yeah.
But it's always, Łukasz, we never make it short. We always want to do quickie, and it's always 2 hours.
Yes. I have the same issue on the podcast. Like
Yeah.
the one that I did with Evan Bacon, it's like more than 1 hour long. And me and Ola, our producer of podcast, we always say, let's aim at 40-45 minutes. Because we
Yeah.
know that if we aim at 1 hour, it's gonna be 1 hour and 30.
You know what we can do maybe? Because, you know, chatting for 3, 4, 5 hours, whatever, it's fun. But time is always money. And if we can make something useful, maybe that's even better. If we did it maybe twice a month, but we always, while we do it, we always do open source coding in the background. Like we try to make a PR somewhere, or do for as long as we do, because at the end of the day we leave the stream and we're like, yeah, we did something productive, it was nice. So maybe we can hack something all together or find something.
Sure, some pair programming or something.
Exactly. You know, just share the screen, the cursor stuff. It's pretty weird these days. Why not?
Yeah. Let's do that next time. I think I want to wrap this up right now because I'm pretty tired already.
Yeah. Let's go. I have to go to sleep. It's midnight, 6 minutes after midnight over here.
Thank you guys so much. I need to finish this. Like, I actually need to finish this right now.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
so
so much.
do it later.
I will do it right after this, after I eat my dinner. Thanks again.
Enjoy
awesome.
the food.
I'm stopping the stream right now. It was awesome. See you in 2 weeks.
All right.
Sorry for the commitment, but it is what it is.
No. Let's do it. I'm up for it. I love talking to people.
Oh,
Given how much he invested already.
I have the microphone. It's fancy.
Yeah.
So I'm down. Okay, guys. Thank you. That was nice.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.